up? How you doing? Thanks so much for joining me in today's video. We're talking all about the Mighty Sendo palette by Natasha Denona. So this is her new release. It came out May 10th at Sephora and it was already a pre-sale at Natasha Denona's website. That's where I got my palette from. In today's video, I am going to be creating 3 eye makeup looks with this palette, and I am also going to do some comparisons with her Metropolis, her Tropic, her Bronze, and her Sunset palette. So we have a lot of things to go through in today's video. If this is your first time here, I'm Gigi. I am a registered nurse obsessed with skincare, beauty, and makeup. Here on my channel, I do a lot of first impressions, unboxing. I love my luxury makeup, so if that's a content that you enjoy, go ahead and click on the red button that says subscribe, and also go to my Instagram because up there I do keep you posted on new makeup sales, makeup releases, everything like that. So let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, you guys, so let's begin and let's take a glance at our mini Sendo. This is what it looks like. She describes this palette as a warm and cool tone inspired by an ambience where nature meets minimalistic architecture. It is a mix of elements that conveys peacefulness and tranquility. It features 15 new iconic Natasha Denona pressed pigments eyeshadow and includes a range of brown and beige and pink coral shades which complement with the teal, mint, and the green hues. It is the perfect balance and color combination to create a warm and cool everyday to bold and expressive looks. It looks like, and I have to be honest, when she released the name of Sendo, my mind just went somewhere else. I didn't think her big Sendo palette will look like this because this is her mini Sendo. The color story on the mini Sendo, to me, it just brings a lot of tranquility, that, you know, that this Sendo that she's talking about. It has a lot of like rich and cool tone shades in here. So when she released the name of Sendo, I didn't think it was gonna look like this, I'll be honest. This is a little bit more edgy and out there that I thought she would do, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful palette. I feel like it has a really good mix of really edgy shades as well as some neutrals and beautiful shades for summertime. I have to be honest, I skipped both her Circo Loco and the prior to that, the chromatic, whatever that is. I'll leave the name. I skipped on those. Those were too much for me. I couldn't handle that much color. But when she released this one, I was with this. You know, I sometimes I like teal. I like a pop of color here and there, not always, but of course I love these row the most. When you cover these shades, you could see totally how it really resembles something like the Sunset palette, but shade by shade, not really. We're gonna go through the eyeshadow looks right now. This palette, I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, this is the Mighty palette, so it retails for $65 US, so it is a win. I love these compact. I love this style of her shadows the most. I feel like it is a fair price for the amount of shades that you get. I love the fact that they're you can pop them out, you can mix and match with other palettes of her. I don't do that because I review, you know, makeup and I don't want to mix them up, but I would love to do something like that one day, you know, careless and just pop. Within this palette, we get a beautiful range of metallics. We get her duochromes. We also get some cream powder shades, and yeah, all the shades in here, they just look stunning. I want to show you the 3 looks that I created you know, with this palette, and then we come back for some comparisons and just a final thoughts. Alright friends, so you saw the 3 looks that I created with this palette. Every single shade performed really well. I have no complaints, 0 complaints, and I used a ton of the shades. I think I didn't use maybe 3 out of the 15, so I think that's pretty good with, you know, 3 eye looks that I created. This shade here, which is the darkest in the palette, you know, you just have to be careful with shades like this. You want to take your time, just take a little bit at a time and don't pack a lot. I like that these shades by her are so creamy. This is a full-on matte from her line, but as I was applying it, you could see a little bit of patchiness, but you know, blending, packing and blending, it did the trick and it blended out beautifully. Other than that, I have really no complaints. For this second look, I forgot, like I didn't record, but I popped these 2 shades, I mixed them up, and I applied it as a blush. So that's the blush shade that you see right here. It is a coral. This shade in the middle is so bright, it's so pretty, and it blends beautifully. So if you wanted to use that as a blush, you know, that's so cute. I felt like it really complemented the eye look. As a highlighter, I used this shade Yama, which is one of her duochromes within the palette, which I thought it was a little bit risky for me. I don't usually, you know, do any risky moves when it comes to my makeup, but this has a beautiful green, you know, shift to it that just, it makes it really pretty. So I didn't really mind. I didn't apply it a lot, but you know, it's there, you can see it. I think it's beautiful. When the light hits, you can really see those green specks, which I like. And this eye look, I think the third one was my favorite because I'm such a neutral girl, and I'm very drawn towards these coral shades and these shades in the middle. Those are like my gems. So let's talk about the mini Sendo and the Midi Sendo. How do they you know, compare? I don't think they do at all. They have some similarities, but you know, not really. I have to tell you right off the bat, there was nothing spot on dupes, nothing within all the palettes that I own from Natasha. In the mini Sendo, you get this platinum shade. We don't have that in the Sendo. Here we get this pinky shade, which could be something similar to Tranquility, which I'm gonna show you. So this is the mini Sendo, and then this is Tranquil in the new Sendo. So this is the one from the Midi Sendo, which is very pigmented, much more than that one in this one, which is one of the shades that I really wanted, you know, to pack a ton. And I think Tranquil, I think it's called Tranquil, really gives me that punch that I wanted. Now let's talk about the bronze. Let's put them side by side, and we can see that they have some similarities. I'm sorry about the light. They do have some similarities, but again, there's absolutely nothing spot on. Nothing that is so similar. Bliss, it looks similar to, again, that shade Tranquil, but not really. Tranquil is pinker, so nothing spot on the bronze. When it comes to her Sunrise palette, I feel like you could get, you know, you get the vibe, you get the pinks, you get the reds, so they're very similar. You're gonna achieve very similar looks, you know, if you stick to the reds and like the corals, if you do the same on the Midi Sendo. Let's go shade by shade, maybe some similarities. The red one in here is a Jasper, and the red one in the Midi Sendo is a Viger, which is this one right here, and they're different. You're gonna see in the swatch. So this is Sunrise and this is Sendo. The Sendo is much more red, much more berry. The one in Sunrise is really orange. This shade here, which is the lightest, which is like the coral shade, we can swatch it right here. So that's that coral shade. Let's do this one, which is Calm in the new palette. So they're similar, but again, not the same. And then we have Relief in the new palette as well, which I think is too bright. Yeah, It is a true coral shade, which is beautiful. I love this shade in my last look. That's the one that I packed all over my lid, and I think it's just really, really beautiful. You can see how bright it is. Tropic palette, we get this blue, which is really similar to one could think that is similar to this one in the new one. So we're gonna, okay, I don't have to swatch them. You can see this is the one in the tropic, and this one is the one in the new palette. So they're literally not the same shade at all. And then you can, maybe we can do Gusty in the tropic palette, which is a pinky shade, and we can swatch it with this pinky shade in here. So within like the tropic palette, I think 1 or 2 shades are close, but not really that much. If we talk about the Metropolis palette, in here you get the vibe of the greens, but absolutely nothing spot on, absolutely zero. So these are them side by side. You can see that you get the blues, you get the greens, so it could give you that vibe that they're similar. But I already did my homework before I started filming, and I couldn't find any dupes within any of those palettes. I'm gonna leave below this Instagram account. I encountered this account when I was looking at Natasha Denona swatches, like the new Sendo palette, and this person has a lot of comparisons with all these palettes that I just talked about. So go take a look if you wanted to see more in depth. I'm pretty sure that was a lot of work. Like, this person went into detail with all the palettes that I just showed you, so I think that's neat. But again, not a spot on dupe. As Natasha says, all the shades in here are new. They're created for the Sendo palette. I feel like everything in here worked really pretty. I really like the color story. I feel like it's really fun. If you wanted something really neutral, you could totally do it. If you wanted a pop of color, you can have it on the go. So I like that everything is in here. Could you recreate the looks that I created with this palette with her other palettes? I'm pretty sure you could. If you went looking and digging, I'm pretty sure you could do it. But it's always fun to have everything into one palette, especially if this is your vibe. If you like a pop of color, if you like those blues, if you like those greens, there isn't a dot in here. It is up to her standards. It is up there with her quality. I just love her shadows so much. Alright guys, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of my eye looks? What do you think of the palette, the comparisons, everything that we talked about? Are you thinking about purchasing this palette? Just drop me a comment. Thanks so much you guys for your love and support. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!